Welcome to Fanatics Live, where we virtually connect you with your favorite stars and athletes right at home. Tonight, we will be meeting with fans, signing autographs, and engaging in live Q&A. Now, let's welcome our host.
What's good, everyone? Welcome to Fanatics Live. I'm your host, Beja Marie Velez, and today we'll feature Jeff Staple as we discuss the launch of the first 32-team streetwear collaboration in partnership with the NFL and Fanatics. The collab will exhibit a combination of street culture and your favorite NFL team. Now, without further ado, bringing into the show the man of the hour himself, Jeff Staple. And we're opening up with a smile. I'm excited to tap into this. How are you doing today, Jeff?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm blessed on this end. I'm glad that we both got the memo that we're wearing blue. I'm excited to tap into this interview. Where are you at in the world right now while we're doing this?
I'm in the West Coast, Los Angeles, California right now.
Perfect, same. If space/time permits, if you're not going onto your international adventures, I would love to get up after this interview. But yeah, Jeff, one, always amazing to see your face, and two, thank you for putting my name in the hat to conduct this interview. We've done a lot of interviews, but this one I'm really, really excited to dive deep. So before we get into the partnership with the NFL Fanatics, I would love to just talk about your career background. I mean, a lot of people know you for the highly coveted SB Pigeon Dug with Nike. You've done a myriad of collabs from New Balance, Puma, Bear Bricks, Timberland, Coca-Cola, Hello Kitty, and the list goes on. But I would love to talk about the genesis of your career and how that started and it having a domino effect on what you're doing now with brand collaborations.
Yeah, I mean, the great thing about my story is that even though I've collaborated with all of these brands that you mentioned and incredible global brands from all over the world, massive like Fortune 500 companies, this whole entire journey started with one T-shirt that I hand silk screened in art school. And the takeaway is that you don't have to be like some graduate of some high-end art school and or going to some fancy fashion runway kind of like pedigree. You can have one idea, put it on a shirt. And honestly, for me, it was way harder for me to print the shirt back in the day, 25 years ago. Today, you could go on like, any website and print one shirt and have it within a week. You know what I mean? So that one idea on a T-shirt just took me around the world and had me meet all these amazing brands. But I think the moral of the story is that anybody can do it.
And when you were working on that first T-shirt, did you ever envision that it would turn into the powerhouse of Staple today and eventually leading to a collaboration like with NFL Fanatics?
I mean, Beja, I didn't know if those T-shirts would lead to lunch the next week.
You're like, I don't know what's going on.
I don't know.
You're like, I'm just winging
what
it.
What are you talking about? Like, there was nothing to be had. There's no career path on making T-shirts or painting sneakers. You know what I mean? Like back then it was like so premature. It was strictly for the passion. And the beautiful thing is that today, there is an industry for this. A kid could be in high school right now and tell their parents, I want to be a streetwear designer. I want to be a sneaker customizer, and that would be a valid career choice. Yep. Like when I did it, my parents were like, go to your room, like get out of here. What are you
you're wild. What is this outlandish dream? Exactly. Well, it's beautiful to see now how it's come full circle for you to the highest degree that you can think of.
Pretty much.
I really want to talk about how this NFL Fanatics collab came about.
I mean, as many great collaborations come about, it starts with a phone call. And thankfully, for Staple and myself, it's rare that we go out and like hard pitch people. I think our work kind of speaks for ourselves and our pedigree and what we've done. So the NFL as well as Fanatics together reached out. And actually, I've had a relationship with Fanatics prior because a couple of years ago, we were asked by the Overwatch League, which is the premier e-gaming league. We were asked by them to redesign all of their uniforms. And those uniforms, that whole entire collection was available on Fanatics. So Fanatics was already fam with Staple. They obviously had the relationship with the National Football League. And it was just a nice triumvirate of like, the NFL, is trying to do new, innovative things, especially with their merch and their apparel. You guys, Staple, are obviously like on the bleeding edge of that. And then Fanatics is the home for all of this. So it's just like a really nice coming together of like-minded individuals, if you will.
It's beautiful to say the least. Also, you're
Yeah,
celebrating the
I want to
25th.
say I just want to add that people think sometimes these collaborations are very impossible to comprehend. Like how would you even collaborate with the National Football League or Fanatics? But I think people overestimate the fact that no, a lot of these is just people having conversations with each other. That's how these amazing things start off, So don't think it's impossible. It is very possible.
I think also your spirit and your energy speaks volumes in addition to the creative eye and taste making and what the team is doing collectively from a design perspective. So it's like you have everything in one. I do want to talk about when you were in my crib and I was interviewing you for the magazine for Read Art Department, and was the first call with the president of Fanatics.
Yeah.
Wow,
I
Jeff.
had an overlap of our interview went a little bit over, and I had a call with Fanatics. It was the intro call to kick this whole thing off to see if we could even do it. And I was running late, and I was like, "Yo, Beja, do you have a quiet place to do this? Because also you have a cat, and I'm allergic to cats, and so I'm sitting there having an allergy. I'm sniffling and sneezing. I need a cat-free, quiet place to take this call. So you put me on your roof deck."
Yes, and I hear you upstairs, and I just hear, and yes, this is great, and and then we're gonna. I said, oh man, this man is struggling. Let me go get him a glass of water to quench his thirst. But I'll never forget when you came from my balcony. You were upstairs, I was downstairs, and you looked down at me. You were like, I just had a call with the president of Fanatics, and I will never forget that I had this call in Beja Velez's home. So again, thank you for pitching me, putting my name in the hat to conduct this interview. This is a beautiful full circle moment. And I'm excited to dive deep more into this collaboration. So for the folks that are tuning in, I just want to let you all know that there is a QR code at the bottom of your screen, and you can reference that if you would like to shop the collection live on fanatics.com, or you can search Staple on fanatics.com to purchase the collaboration. So Jeff, let's get into some of the products. So the first item we have is the New York Giants core team long sleeve t-shirt. I would love for you to discuss, your inspiration behind the design and what you were envisioning with this piece.
First of all, we're picking the Giants just for you, Beja. I know you're a Giant fan, so I'm highlighting all the Giant stuff. But yeah, here's a good sampling of some of the styles that we have. We actually have 3 different what's called vignettes that we designed around. As you can see, the middle one has kind of this retro vibe feel. So that red hoodie that's peeking out from under the long sleeve, that's all built in as one piece. The model is not wearing his own red hoodie. So the hoodie is built into the long sleeve. And that's kind of harks back to this kind of 90s vibe, grunge rock, where you would mix different long sleeves with different hoodies and stuff. And so the print on that is actually a distressed print as well. So it kind of gives this vintage look. On the left side, which is emblematic of the hoodie that I happen to be wearing right now, repping my team, the Detroit Lions. This is much more about what's happening in streetwear and skate today, vibrant, all over print, really just in your face and heavy on the design and production. And then on the right side, the gentleman there is wearing something that is on-field athletic jersey inspired, but not a jersey. So it's a lifestyle piece. It's a streetwear piece, but you can see with the contrast ribbing, the sort of the way the logos are laid out, the large varsity numbers, and then the jock tag on the bottom. It's very just sort of reminiscent of what you would see in an on-field jersey or uniform.
Amazing pieces. I also love that he has the 25 on his shirt, because this year you were celebrating the 25th anniversary of Staple.
I like that you caught that Easter egg. Yes.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
It looks like it'd be the player's number, but under the 2, it says EST or anniversary, ANN. So it's 25th year anniversary. Yeah.
Amazing. I'm 26. I was born in 1996. So this is the fact that you're having this huge commemorative moment, and I have you've given me the blessing to pick your mind once again. I'm taken aback, to say the least. Let's get into the second piece.
I'm taken aback at how old I am.
You look. I say this every time. Go ahead. I was gonna say your skin looks great. I say this every time, but it's you've definitely found the fountain of youth, because you look great, to say the least.
Thank you. I was gonna say that means that if my math is correct, when you were 1 year old, I was already selling my first staple shirts, right?
That's deep.
That's
Yeah, so
crazy.
then by that time, I think maybe when I was I was 20 years old after I dropped out of college, and I was selling your clothes at Wish, which is
In
crazy.
Atlanta.
And
Yeah.
yep, in Atlanta, and then eventually interview you at Complex. Again,
And then
living in
here we
LA
are.
because of you and the CG Planet, and you went from coughing on my balcony with cat hair in your throat, talking to the president of Fanatics, to us now being here and selling this collection. So let's go
The
into the second
universe
piece.
speaks. The universe speaks.
The next joint we have is the New York Giants split logo pullover hoodie.
Yes.
She's
I mean,
tearing that pizza up over there.
yeah, this is just actually that jacket is one of my favorite jackets. Again, just streetwear basic pieces, just with the added flair on it that just makes it about youth culture and street. And then on the left side, that hoodie, one of my favorite pieces is a split body hoodie where we take the two team colors. We literally act as though like we took a hoodie, cut it in half, and then reassembled it, but obviously done in a really dope production way. And the hoodies for Staple are our staple, if you will. Like, we're so known for the quality and the construction of our hoodies, and the dudes rocking it there really well. And then, of course, the hats from New Era, we offer them both in fitteds and in snapbacks. So fitted for,
Dope.
kind of like the OG consumer who really wants that fitted New Era cap. And then for people who sort of have heads that are like right in between the fitted sizes, or you got a head that can't even fit into a fitted cap, we got you covered with the adjustable cap.
Awesome. So many. I love the colorway. I love the split design. Love the piece. And again, New York Giants for me, because my father is a huge New York Mets fan and also New York Giants. But I was the person on Sunday, either the Super Bowl or football Sunday. I'm like, where's the pizza? Where's the wings? Where's the meatball and the deviled eggs? That was me.
Yeah.
But yeah, now let's go into your favorite team, the Detroit Lions. We have the Detroit Lions 5950 fitted hat and the Detroit Lions coach's full snap jacket. I love the colorway of this hat. It's too cold.
Yeah, I love this too. This is actually the adjustable one, so this is for if you got the weird head. But the jacket is dope. I've got mine right here on the back of my chair. So we did another piece, another vignette here where you can see the jacket. I realized that because Staple is a 25-year-old brand now, some of our consumer base might be like fathers of two or work in a corporation and just be like grown adults now, so we made pieces that are more subtle, a little more low key. So this one is like kind of, you could see the front on the chest there. It's like a black on black print with just small hits of the Detroit blue. And then on the back, you've got like the mascot of the team, the pigeon, and then the official phrase for each team. So that's different for every single team. And again, all 32 teams. So we're not just showing you Giants. If you're not a Giant fan or a Lions fan, don't tune out. We have every single team covered here.
Amazing.
It's pretty amazing. Yeah. Oh, and you asked why I'm a Detroit Lions fan. I'm actually a Detroit all sports fan. I grew up in the 80s, in the era of Barry Sanders and the Lions, the bad boys of the Detroit Pistons, Cecil Fielder of the Detroit Tigers, and I grew up watching my first live games at Ford Field in Detroit. So I'm always going to have a deep place for Detroit teams in my heart. Also Detroit Red Wings, to be honest. So yeah, all the Detroit teams.
Wow, this is and every time I interview you, I always learn something new. But I just love, one, your enthusiasm, and two, the fact that you have these full circle moments where you have like a connection to a brand or something of that sort, and then it leads to moments like this. And it is the 25th anniversary of the NFL, and you are the first brand ever to do a streetwear collaboration in partnership with NFL and Fanatics. It's amazing, to say the least. But again, for the folks that are tuning in, just a reminder, you all, we don't just have New York Giants and Detroit Lions pieces. Every team is represented, so you can scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen if you want to shop this collaboration, or type staple on fanatics.com to purchase. So now we're actually going to have some people come into the show, some guests, and we're going to intro them in, and they're going to ask you questions, and then y'all can just go and do your thing. So first we have coming to the screen, Chase.
What's up, Jeff? How are you?
Hey, Chase. Nice to meet you, man.
Good to meet you too, Jeff. Good to see you again, Beja. I'm just tuning in from Salt Lake City. Super thankful for the chance I have to be able to chat with you for a little bit. Cool. I'm a big fan of yours and all your hard work, and all the wonderful product you've been able to do and being able to inspire the future generation like myself. I really appreciate your efforts in that. I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you about what was a game-changing moment for you in your career? I know like this whole collaboration is based around football, and I know that there's some game-changing moments in the game of football. So I thought of, well, Jeff's probably had some game-changing moments in his own career of designing and whatnot. So I wanted to ask what any of those might be.
That's a really good question, and I'm going to answer it in a way that maybe you're not expecting. I think the secret to how Staple is now a 25-year-old brand is not because of game-changing moments. And I think a lot of the younger generation who's trying to get their name in on whether it's like a creative field or art or branding or even music or anything, is that they're seeking this game-changing like moment, this like, come on, when is it gonna happen? When am I gonna like hit that like lotto ticket level thing? And the secret is that it's not like that. It's a grind. But the secret is you have to fall in love with the grind. And once you figure out how to fall in love with the grind, then every day is a game-changing moment. Like honestly, waking up and being able to work on Staple is game-changing, because every day I'm like, when is this gonna end? Like, this is too good to be true, Obviously, there are amazing moments, right? Like Beja mentioned the pigeon dunk riot, and like, of course, this NFL drop on Fanatics. These are amazing moments. I mean, even when Beja was just recapping them to me, I was getting a headache because I was like, oh my God, there's like so much going on. But I don't think about it like that, because I just take it one day at a time. I'm very appreciative of what we've done and what we're working on. And it's a process, but love that process, and I think that's the secret. So don't look for the game-changing moments, look for the love every day. I mean, to use a sports analogy, right? It's like you could wake up and like try to be in the Super Bowl every day, but if you don't love practice, like you're not actually going to get to the Super Bowl. You got to fall in love with the practice,
Definitely.
Amazing question, Jeff. Amazing question, Chase. And Jeff, I love again just how because I did not expect you to go that deep or have that answer. So that's amazing. And I also just love you acknowledging to fall in love with the process and the journey, because everything is a game-changing moment. Chase, thank you so much for that amazing question. We're now going to transition to our next guest. And next we have up on the screen is Marvin. How you doing today, Marvin? Your camera's on mute, so you're gonna have to unmute. There we go. How you doing today, man?
Good. How you doing, Beja? Good to see you again. Jeff, good to meet you. I'm glad you're a Lions fan who has Jared Goff on their team. You guys are gonna go far this year.
Yeah. So wait, I gotta say, so are we in Marvin's room right now? I'm just like,
yeah, where are you at, Marvin?
We're in Marvin's room.
Texas, in my garage right now. So yes, you are in Marvin's.
That's a nice garage, man.
Right. I'm like, y'all are fully decked out. Definitely have experience in interior design.
Yes.
Oh, appreciate that. It's kind of hard to get lighting here, but yeah.
Nice.
Okay, awesome, Marvin. So what's your question that you have for Jeff today?
Yeah, Jeff. So I love hearing how you broke down, your collaboration with the NFL. I love hearing that a big Lions fan is kind of, bringing in different throwbacks and kind of making the NFL's, fashion forward. So speaking of fashion forward, how do you tackle NFL merch, which is, historically very team and game day oriented, and make it fashion forward?
I mean, that's just, two cooks in the kitchen. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm just bringing my ingredients and my history. The NFL brings this incredible legacy. What was crazy is like, when we got access to the brand guideline books for all 32 NFL teams, I was like a kid in the candy store, just seeing all the Pantone colors, all the vector logos, and like all the sayings and phrases of the founding years. It was amazing. So my job at that point is to just bring my DNA, my aesthetic, and my perspective really on what I think, I'm putting the word the streets in air quotes, but like, when I say streetwear, I'm talking about like what real people in these streets wear. You know what I mean? I think a lot of times people design things in a vacuum or in a bubble, but Beja knows as well as I know, like people are stuck in traffic. They take subways, they take buses, they take trains, they go in airports, right? And I think about all these people that are just living everyday lives and how they want to express and represent themselves. And I try to add that perspective into what the NFL offers. And then, to be honest, like that's probably 80% of the way. 20% of the other way is a little bit of luck. Sometimes when you put these two elements together, it might not work, so then you got to tweak and adjust. But like from there, I just have that trust and faith that what I'm bringing and what the NFL brings was going to make magic together. And I think that's what we did.
Man,
Wow.
you guys killed it.
Thank you, man. Get that Rams,
amazing answer.
Get that Rams stuff, man. I see you repping the Rams out there.
I love like the black silhouette you said about the people in the business place, kind of subtle, but also kind of flexing on everyone.
Exactly.
I'm ready to be rocking that Rams one. Good to meet you, Jeff.
I'm gonna model this piece now since you mentioned it.
I love it. He's over here doing the layering for you. Thank you so much, Marvin, for your amazing question. It was such a pleasure to meet you.
Later, Marvin.
Awesome. So next we're going to bring in Zach.
It's cleaned up.
What's going on, Jeff? Nice
Zach,
to meet you.
what's up?
Yeah. Hey,
Zach,
I just
are
want to
you a
say,
gamer?
huh? No, I'm
Are
not.
you a
This is my
gamer?
work
Okay, I
headset.
thought you
I
had
know
a
Visual was saying I came prepared with my work headset and everything.
Jeff, I
so
love
I'm
that you
ready.
just brought up his headphones because when he came in, I was like, oh, he came ready. He's not playing with these headphones. Okay, awesome, Zach. What's your question for Jeff?
Yeah, so I just want to say I love the collection, Jeff. I'm a Steeler fan, so I'm gonna be definitely copping a couple pieces. I love there's a Steeler jacket in the preview of the collection there. But yeah, I want to ask you, what was the most exciting part while collaborating with Fanatics for this NFL drop?
I might have, I don't know if you caught the last answer, but I think the most exciting part for me was really gaining access to the archives and the playbook, no pun intended, but like the brand playbooks of all 32 teams. At the heart of it, I'm not actually a fashion designer. I'm actually a trained graphic designer. So the thing that I geek out about is like brand logo books, like all their fonts and all the different rules that they have and the Pantone colors and all that stuff. So that was the coolest moment for me when they just let me into the archives and were just like, yeah, all 32 teams, take your pick and like start working on it. And I actually have I got a good anecdote on the Steelers, since that you said the Steelers was your favorite team, right?
Yeah.
So the Steelers was one of the first teams that we had to work on for the NFL. You know why?
Really? Why?
Because the Steelers has one of the most complicated brand logos in the entire league, because you have the yellow and black, but then inside of your logo, you've got like all these little multicolored symbols and flags, right? So if you can pass brand guideline regulations on the Pittsburgh Steelers, the NFL says you probably can figure out the rest of the team, but the Steelers is the hardest one. So little known fact for you Steelers fans out there.
All right, cool.
That's amazing. Zach, do you have any other questions for Jeff?
Not a question, but I'm also a big NBA guy too. So if you got a collab coming out with the NBA, I'm gonna get some of that too.
Universe.
Yeah, it's out there for sure.
we planted the seed. It's definitely going to manifest in due time.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for tuning in, Zach. We really, really appreciate you.
No, thank you guys.
Peace. Awesome. And next, last but not least, we're going to bring in Jonathan.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Jonathan, you got a nice hoodie on there, man.
Thank you. I love it. So I just wanted to start off by saying that I love all of your collabs, including your newest collection with NFL, which leads me to my question, which is what challenges do you face while creating huge projects like this one?
Great question. The challenge here is, as I mentioned in a previous answer, I often equate this analogy to like you have different cooks in the kitchen, right? Because we're all bringing our own flavors and cooking it together. The challenge is, when you have different people in the room, getting everyone to agree, be on a timeline, and just get the project as streamlined as possible. Obviously, if you're a creative and you're working by yourself in a room, it's super easy because you don't have to have anybody approve anything, or you don't have to review anything with anybody. But the negative of that is that you only have your perspective to play off of. You're like working in a vacuum. So the positive side of doing a collaboration is, wow, I get to work with like Fanatics and NFL and all the teams and everything. It's amazing. the negative, the challenge is that like it's really just time. There was actually no drama at any point in this relationship. It was so smooth and such a well-oiled machine. But people go on vacation, they got holiday, they're out of office, they get sick, they got COVID, whatever, like, and it just takes like things that should take, a day take 7 days, and you multiply that by 32 teams, and it's like things take a long time, so that was one of the challenges. But all in all, it was an incredible experience.
Yeah, super awesome. I love it.
Thanks, man.
Well, I'm excited, Jonathan, for you to get some of the pieces, because you definitely came game ready with this staple hoodie on.
Yeah, big Jets fan. Can't wait.
You play hockey too?
Yeah, I play hockey. I love the Rangers collab that you recently did with them. It's
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah. I saw because you have a hockey stick back there.
Yeah.
But I played hockey as well, so we have that in common. I played goaltender.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Amazing parallels.
Well, thanks,
Thank you so much, Jonathan, for tuning in. We really, really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yo, I get excited picking your mind. So I know folks that like really have yet to tap in with you. I know that means the world and more to them. And I just appreciate your transparency and opening up like that. I know they just appreciated just digging into your mind a little bit. Oh, wait, what? I already know you were cutting up when you seen the Pantones and they gave you the keys to the NFL. I know you felt like a kid in the candy store.
So
I know you were so excited. So to wrap up the show, we're going to now segue to a rapid round of fire questions. So we're going to have them pop them on the screen, and whatever first comes up to mind, just give me the answer off the top of your head.
Okay.
So first up, we have your favorite sport outside of football.
Ooh, I'm really feeling Formula One racing right now. F1
racing. Weren't you just there for something?
Yeah, I just went to Monza in Italy, but I've been to 4 F1 races this year. F1's amazing because people don't know, but there's only 20 F1 athletes in the entire world. So like those seats are so coveted and so rare. You have to be at such an elite level of like mind and physicality. So I'm just super feeling the F1 racing right now.
I love the light flex where you're like, yeah, I was just in Italy. I'm like, you are so funny. Okay, so the next question, color you have the most in your closet.
All right, I think everyone's got black in their closet.
I knew you were going to say that.
Other than black, though, it is navy blue for sure. I rep navy blue. Obviously, we both got navy blue on, so I love navy.
Okay, great. And the next question we have is the fashion trend you want to come back.
I want jeans to come back. Like, I get it. We've been in COVID. We all wear our athleisure and our sweats and our shorts and our like Crocs, but like I'm looking forward to us getting a little preppy again. You remember like maybe 10 years ago it was all about like button-up shirts and tucking in and like nice jeans and like leather shoes. Like I'm looking forward to that, like dressing up again.
Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever seen you even in a pair of jeans even prior to the pandemic.
Yeah, it was very rare. You'd have to get it was like that was like black tie formal for me, but get me in a pair of jeans.
So maybe you're going to be the one to bring that fashion trend back. Okay, so the next question that we have is your go-to pair of shoes. I can't wait to hear this answer.
I actually just said it, but like my go-to pair of shoes right now are Crocs.
I knew it. Crocs, I got a pair of the new. I got a new, not the first ones that you did, but the new ones where you put like the lighter and all of those on there. I can't wait to rock those. I love the little accessories that you can add onto it. And they're just also just super, super comfortable. The next question we have is, who is your favorite athlete?
Good question. I mean, I'm gonna, there's so many, but like being that I'm in the spirit of the NFL and the Lions, I'm gonna say Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders growing up was someone that I looked up to tremendously, obviously because of his athletic performance and prowess, but also because of the way he carried himself and how humble he was. If you ever watch footage of Barry Sanders, he would just go and just straight embarrass the entire defensive line. Like he was like a video game, literally in action. But then when he crossed into the end zone, he would never spike the ball, never do a dance, never pull out a Sharpie. Literally just handed the ball, to the ref and then just walked to the sideline. And I always watched him and I was like, man, this dude is the GOAT, but he's just so humble. And I think even as a kid, when I started then thinking about what staple would be, I always remembered Barry and how like, no matter what accolades there are, there's no reason to like sort of make an opponent or a competitor or a peer like feel bad about what you just accomplished. Like it's better to like uplift everyone than to like make people feel down on themselves, you know?
I love that, Jeff. Out of everything that you could have said with an athlete, you could have focused on, athleticism, performance, the who's won, X amount of awards or trophies. But the fact that you tied it back into humility and drew that parallel with your brand and yourself, I love that. And you really do embody exactly that. So that makes perfect sense that is your favorite athlete. So the next question we have is the show that you are currently binging.
I do not have time to watch TV, unfortunately.
He's a girl too busy.
I'm too busy.
You don't watch anything.
No, I barely. I might in a week, in an average 7-day span, I might have the TV on for 30 minutes max.
And is it like just background noise or something like that?
No, I watch dumb stuff like HGTV and the Food Network. I watch like home improvement shows and like.
Oh, that's not dumb at all. I love that. No, I love all of that.
I can't keep in my head like a whole series. Like I've never. Here's a little known fact about me. I've never watched a single episode of Game of Thrones. I've never watched a single episode of The Sopranos. Like I've never watched a single Breaking Bad. Like never. I've never seen any of those things because I know once I get into it, I'm gonna fall down this rabbit hole of like watching 8 years of content, you know?
Well, that's the whole point. But we're in the same boat because I haven't watched any of those shows. But maybe when you do have some downtime, you need to watch the Ozark. Whenever you do have some flexibility in your schedule, I feel like you would really love that storyline. So to be continued on that one. The next question we have is your go-to pizza order.
Go-to pizza order is the margarita, because let me tell you something. People put all sorts of crazy stuff on their pizzas nowadays, right? You can have like barbecue chicken, you can have pineapples, whatever, but you can judge a pizzeria by their plain margarita slice. That's how you judge a pizzeria, and you could compare pizzas from all over the world on how they do their plain slice. So all the way margarita for me.
I love that you said margarita because I did think you were going to come with something crazy like pineapples, because that day we were at breakfast and you started putting ketchup on your eggs. I was like, yo, this man is wild.
Okay, I still want to argue you on this because I think people do put ketchup on their eggs, but like Beja looked at me like I had a second head coming out of my neck when I asked I asked for ketchup, and like you were like, what are you about to put ketchup on? I was like, my eggs.
Of all things, I was like, maybe the last time I've seen someone put ketchup on their eggs was like a 5-year-old. No disrespect, but I was like, yo, every time I think that I know you, I'm like, this man really just put ketchup on his eggs. But
when this goes on YouTube, I want people in the comments to either go ketchup with eggs or what are you talking about with the ketchup? Because I need to hear from America what's going on.
Hot sauce, not ketchup. Like yo, and you put a lot on there. But I'm great you're not putting pineapple on your pizza, so that's good. So the last question we have is favorite piece from the NFL staple collection.
I'm gonna have to say this hoodie I'm rocking. I put it on for a reason. I just love this. I love just being, I'm a subtle guy, but sometimes I do like to be loud and I like to be like the center of attention when it comes to fashion, especially when it comes to repping your favorite team. So yeah, this piece right here with the lion down here, we are one Detroit. And then I also like on the pockets, as you can see here, one of my favorite things is that this is not a traditional hoodie pocket, meaning it's not a kangaroo pocket that goes all the way through. These are two separate individual pockets. Just love the fit, love the hood, keeps you warm and stuff. So I'm feeling this one. Everyone get this piece right now on your favorite team. And I guarantee you, we got your team covered.
Amazing, Jeff. This is just, I feel like I'm in a dream. Again, I can't, of all places you could have had that call, and the fact that we went over with the interview, because we get to talking, it gets deep, and you could have had the call, in your car or elsewhere. So the fact that you had the call with the president of Fanatics in my home, and now we're at this full circle moment where the project has finally come to fruition. It's amazing. Congrats again on such a historical partnership. It is the 25th anniversary of Staple, and you are the first brand ever to have officially licensed merch in partnership with the NFL and Fanatics. So I hope you have some downtime to just really sit and soak that in. I don't know, maybe go pop a bottle or something, but like this is huge and it's inspiring to say the least. Reminder for the folks that are tuning in that the QR code at the bottom of the screen, You can click that or scan it so that you can purchase the collaboration, or you could type in Staple on fanatics.com so you could purchase the collection. My name is Beja Marie Velez, and I am your host. This is Jeff Staple. And after this, you can continue to stay tuned in, and we will have a video play after this. Y'all be safe out here, and to be continued. Peace.
Peace, everyone.
Football is back. And like clockwork, so are the countdowns to kickoff. Coast to coast, it's a uniting force bringing together friends and fans alike. And just like the stitching on your favorite hoodie, tight-knit communities everywhere embody their team spirit and DNA. Regardless of the area code, Sundays are reserved for the crew, a house call to the best watch party in town. But this game represents more than the final outcome. It requires a focus and dedication to craft unlike any other. Our logos unite us worldwide. Together, we're a mark of creativity and self-expression in its rawest form, forged through teamwork. This is football. This is streetwear. And for the first time ever, this is all 32 teams. The NFL meets Staple.